What's up, guys? This is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be doing a pretty awesome review from a pretty awesome pistol that I bought accidentally. If you haven't seen the first look video, this is the Springfield Armory Combat Operator 1911 9mm. This is a beautiful 1911 variant, as I said before, chambered 9mm. And wow, is it a sweet looking pistol. As you can see there, it comes with two mags. I guess I threw an extra one in there. That one is one of my aftermarket Chip McCormick's. It comes with a gun lock, comes with an awesome case. As I said before, it looks like an Uzi should fit in there, but not too bad. Still, you can tell it's extremely high quality. Comes with some magazine carriers here. I prefer to use my own though, the egg roll. It also came with a holster. However, I didn't really like it, so I went with the CompTac. CompTac makes these paddle holsters with the competition cut in the front. I love these holsters. Let's get this box out of the way and let's talk more about the pistol. This is, not only is it the Springfield Combat Operator, but it is the Lipsy's Gray Edition. Now, I didn't know anything about this pistol until I saw it at my local gun shop, and I forget what I was doing. I went in there to buy another pistol. I think I was in there to buy the Browning 380, that little 1911 380 that I was pretty interested in. I thought my wife would like it, and I saw this thing, forgot completely about my wife, pulled out the credit card and bought this guy. This thing holds 10 rounds plus one in the chamber, which is pretty standard for your average 1911 9mm. Comes with that range kit that I showed you earlier. It comes with two mags, as I said before, but I personally buy Chip McCormick mags. They're around 30 bucks a piece. With a 1911, you're going to be reloading a little bit more than you would with your standard Glocks, so maybe you get a couple more magazines. With a 1911, I think I have 7 magazines for this. I used to have more, but we had a little lawnmower accident. This is a premium 1911, by the way. This is not your standard run-of-the-mill 1911. This pistol comes with a lot of upgrades that you would probably want to do to your 1911 pistol anyway. It brings it kind of more into the modern world. As I said, this is not your standard GI pistol. This is probably my favorite range 1911 ever. I say range 1911 because we'll get to that in a second. But I have some history with 9mm 1911s. I have owned the Taurus 1911. I've owned a couple of Dan Wessons, including the Guardian, which is an amazing pistol, by the way. I've owned Colts. I owned an STI Trojan, and I souped up real good. And I've owned a couple others as well. So I've got some experience on the platform, and I can tell you that this is as good or better than any 1911, despite 9mm, any 1911 that I've ever owned. The reason why I bought it was looks alone. I've got a soft spot in my heart for 1911s. They may not be the greatest pistol in the world on paper, but they've served this country well, and I would trust my life with them, and I've shot them for the majority of my life. My dad and a couple of his friends had them when I was younger, so like I said, they've been in action movies my whole life. I've always loved them. The price on this pistol, I got this for around, for about 3 Glocks, right around $1,500. And I think the MSRP is pushing $1,800. I think it's around $1,759. But if you're going to buy a 1911, you're going to use it for, in my opinion, serious use. I really think you should get a high quality. You should get something that's handmade or custom or something of a little higher quality. The cheaper ones have some reliability issues, and that is kind of where I think the 1911 gets a lot of grief, is reliability. People just don't trust them anymore. But if you get a higher quality one like this, there's no issues. I think I had 1, maybe 2 malfunctions, and again, I shot this right alongside the PPQ and the Canic for the majority of the winter now, and we shot it in a lot of weather conditions, as I said in the PPQ video. And again, this did have 1 or 2 malfunctions with this Freedom Munition ammunition, but again, this is not NATO spec. This stuff is loaded pretty soft for competition. It's 147 grain. The velocity is relatively low. If I was shooting a higher velocity ammunition, I think it would have been fine, not making any excuses, but 2 malfunctions and a little over, I want to say around 800 rounds pretty impressive for me for any pistol, regardless of a 1911. That kind of reliability, I would definitely trust my life to, especially considering that I wasn't shooting it on an indoor range. I was shooting it outdoor in the middle of winter, and cold has a tendency to affect semi-autos. ARs, things like that, don't run in the cold very well either. So again, the reliability impressed me even more so than any other 1911 that I've owned. It is black slide, gray frame with G10 grips, and I think it looks really, really nice. Silver trigger on there and blacked out controls. Looks really, really nice. As I said before, it has a 5-inch barrel. The reason why I consider it a range pistol and not a carry gun, I know some of you guys carry full-size 1911s, but I do not. It is a 43-ounce pistol. Now, I wouldn't carry that, but as for a range or fun pistol, weight is a plus. I think it settles the gun down, makes it a little more accurate. It also reduces the recoil drastically. A recoil on something like this pistol versus a Glock is, to me, laughable. I can shoot this pistol much faster. Some of that has to do with the ergonomics as well. The total length is 8.6 inches, which is pretty standard. The intended use for this pistol, as I said, range pistol, fun pistol, showing off to your friends. It's really good looking. I took this to a couple public ranges earlier this fall, and everybody who saw it, they wanted to look at it and they wanted to shoot it. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much to you hardcore tactical guys, but sometimes it's fun to have a gun that you can just show off. And there's nothing wrong with liking and having fun with firearms as long as you're safe about it. Home defense, definitely. I actually ran this as a home defense pistol for a little while. Truck gun, not as in the same concept as carrying it in your truck in case you needed a backup pistol or something like that. But when I was just walking outside at night, I live out in the country. There's occasionally we have wild creatures that need to be dispatched, things like that. And in that case, I really like the 1911 because I know I'm not going to be using it for self-defense, so I can load the chamber, throw that safety on, and I don't even need to put it in a holster. I can just carry it outside, keep it in my hand. I know a lot of you are not going to like that, but again, I live way out of town, and for me, that's just kind of nice. It makes it really, really convenient. Again, I'm not a huge safety guy. I don't like to have safeties on defensive pistols necessarily, but for guys that do want a safety, the safety on this pistol especially, and on most high-quality 1911s, is extremely tactile and positive. And I think that's how a safety should be. Relatively hard to put on and off. Not hard, but it definitely won't go off by accident. That's a really nice feature. Everything on this pistol is machined perfectly. The slide is amazing. It runs like glass. You can see there I accidentally tried to run the slide with the safety on. That's why I personally don't have the training to run a pistol with a safety on it for defense, because I'm so used to that pull out and shoot. I think Clint Smith from Thunder Ranch calls them on and off guns. So you just need to have a little bit of training. You can run that, and again, I shouldn't say that you shouldn't use this for home defense or anything like that. If you're used to a 1911 or a CZ or something that has a safety, by all means, go ahead. WROL, shit at the fan gun, I would say no, it's just a little too heavy. Collectible, a glass case kind of gun, like a Safe Queen kind of gun, yeah, absolutely, again. The reliability was amazing for 1911, amazing for any pistol, really. I had one or two malfunctions over the course of around 700 or 800 rounds. Durability, awesome. Track record, pretty good. I don't know about the track record for the Springfield models, I guess, but for me, they're awesome. On the internet, you look them up, they have a pretty good track record. As far as 1911s go, the checkering on this is amazing. The front strap especially is really good. The back strap, the mainspring housing and all that, really good. G10, really good looking grips that also are very functional. No need for sandpaper grips here. Did add just a hair right there though, just to have a little memory pad for my thumb. Steel pick rail works really good with any light that you want. Surefire XC1, X300, that kind of thing. Single action trigger pull is amazing. I can show you that really quick. You can see there. Bam. Super short reset. No take up, no nothing. Really, really nice trigger. I did, however, add something that I think actually should come with this pistol. I did add a Wilson Combat magwell. With 1911s, you only got 10 rounds, so whether you're using it for defense or using it on the range, probably going to be reloading you know, more than the average person. So get yourself a nice mag well. It makes reloading a little bit easier, especially if you're going to be doing it a lot. It's got a competition hammer. It's very, very smooth, as I said before. Low recoil. Mag release and reloads are awesome, especially with that mag well. Slide release is great as well. One thing that I'm going to give this pistol a knock on, that, you know, and you know 1911s are all like that, is grip safety. I just don't like grip safeties, but this one has that Ed Brown style. I know on my last 1911 I added an Ed Brown. It's an extended pad there on the grip safety, so it's a little bit easier to take on and off. So if you have a really high grip on the pistol like I do, sometimes you don't activate this pistol, and when you pull the trigger it won't go bang. That's more of a training issue, I guess, for me than anything, but I like the enlarged one. It makes it a little bit easier. As for takedown, it's standard 1911. I'm not going to do it on camera. If you want to look up some videos on that, go right ahead. Accuracy was WTF great. 50, 100 yards, relatively easy. That has to do with the really, really great 10-8 style sights with the kind of the U in the back with the fiber optic in the front. Unlike the Trijicon HDs, however, the U is very small, and it allows for greater accuracy. Again, with the trigger, for me, sights and trigger make accuracy. It was an amazing pistol. The problems I had, basically know what you're buying. You know, I see a lot of people buy a 1911, they're upset because it's heavier than a Glock or it's got a safety or whatever. Just know what you're buying, man. I don't really honestly hate any major pistol brand. They all just have different pros and cons. And when you buy this, you're going to need to know that it's a little bit heavier. You're going to have a little less round count. Takedown's going to be a little bit more difficult. Reliability compared to something like CZ75 or a PPQ or a Glock or something like that might be a little compromised. So with certain ammunition, so be careful. Know what the pistol likes as far as ammo goes. Also know that it's going to be a little bit more expensive for one of these higher quality, reliable 1911s. There's a lot of pros to it as well. You're going to get really low recoil. You're going to get a more accurate platform for most people. Now, I shouldn't say that this pistol is going to be more accurate for you than a Glock or a SIG or something like that, but the likelihood is there. Most people who shoot 1911s agree that they're a little bit more accurate because of that trigger, and basically just the ergonomics itself lends it to be a more accurate pistol, in my opinion. Again, it's heavier, so it's better for the range than carry, but again, know what you're buying. Lower recoil as well. It's just a real pleasure to shoot. If you have a new shooter or something like that, lots of people will get them a snub nose 357 or a smaller frame 9mm like a Glock 26 or something. Don't get that, first of all. Those people, you're gonna scare those people away with recoil. Get them a big, heavy gun like this, something they can hold on to and has a really low recoil at the range. My wife loved shooting this gun. It also has looks and it has the history of the 1911, something that a lot of the other pistols that I've reviewed before just don't have. For 1911, 1911s have a lot of things that I criticize in other pistols. However, honestly, because they have the American history that they have, I give them a pass on pretty much all of it. And honestly, as long as the pistol is reliable and you can hit with it, I wouldn't criticize your choice of any pistol that you chose to defend yourself. And as far as 1911s go, this gets a solid 10 out of 10. Or if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. Check you later. And?
Pretty good. I enjoy it.
Which one do you like better?
I don't know.
Well, you can buy 5 of those for one of the ones you have in your hand.
Yeah, so definitely that one. This one's heavier.
A lot heavier, right?
Recoil isn't as bad, but I like them both.